Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're listening to the podcast Capturing Magic. I'm Bill Rogers, the voice of Disney. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic. I'm Steph, and I am here today with Heather Winfield from heatherw.com/character. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm up to 257 characters now. So.
Woo! I remember when you were just trying to break 200.
I know. And I
incredible.
had a trip where I didn't have anyone, and this past trip I got 4, so.
That's great.
Yay.
Congratulations. We're also here today with Tanya Hickman, who's going to tell us her new website because I didn't write it down. Every Magic Moment, is that it?
Everymagicmoment.com.
Okay. Yay. Everymagicmoment.com.
We hear her writing it down now.
I know, I'm typing it, yes. Yay, okay. Where you're talking about every magic moment, all kinds of magic moments.
All kinds of magic moments. Disney magic moments and normal life magic moments.
Perfect. Alrighty, today we are going to be talking about changes at Disney World related to Memory Maker, magic shots, all the kind of stuff that we love and get really excited about. Okay, what new magic shots do we have down there in Florida?
Wait, I know one.
Yeah,
Can I talk about it? Because it's the only thing I know.
Okay, let's hear it, Tanya.
The Headless Horseman magic shot.
For Halloween.
Woo! Yes, that's at the Halloween.
There's my
that's at the Halloween party.
I was going to say, is that party only?
Yeah, party only. It's at the entrance to the park. And although I did see when I was going through Instagram to try to see examples, I did see one in Liberty Square. So
Perfect.
maybe I don't know what the deal is, but all the other ones I saw and what I had heard it was supposed to be is at the main entrance. So that's really cool.
It's really cool. It's so fun that they're doing some new and different stuff, I think.
Yeah, because they don't have anything else new at the parties.
Poor
right.
party.
Let's finish talking about the party shots then. There are a couple of other magic shots. The Grim Grinning Ghost at the Haunted Mansion. Right?
Yeah, there's the one on the hearse. So
Yes.
that's he's driving the hearse. And sometimes you can get that during the day. It depends, but I haven't seen that lately. Although they have had during the day a different hitchhiking ghost, and there's one, and there's the 3 of them, but you get one of them in your picture, and it's when you're leaving a haunted mansion. So they've been doing that during the day, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
But during the party, they have the hearse one, and then they have the one with the 3 hitchhiking ghosts. I'm not 100% sure where they're doing it this year because they keep changing it around. I think last time it was over like in the Splash Mountain area, so it's probably still around there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the Poison Apple one. That's a fun one. And I'm not
that's
sure.
supposed to be by the main entrance too, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about where it is this year because the first year they had it, it was impossible to find. You had to really track down someone to do it. And then I think the next year I don't know, but I haven't found it since that first year. So maybe it is by the entrance. But that's also hard because if you're going to the party before the party starts, like a lot of people, then you're going to have to come back out to go do that. So I have to remember because I need that Headless Horseman shot.
Yeah.
So at some point I have to go make sure I get that.
Yes, and then they also have a couple of animated magic shots as well that are on Main Street. One's on Main Street, it looks like.
Well, there's on Main Street, but it's also sometimes you'll have, because they have the hub, so sometimes you'll get a photographer that can take it in the hub area, because sometimes they're like roaming around. But it's mostly on Main Street. They have from the parade, the
Gravediggers.
The waltz stand. Oh, the Gravediggers. That one's at the pumpkin area when you're first coming in the town square area. So that one they add the Gravediggers, and that's fun because the Booty Parade is the best thing.
That's my favorite parade, I think, in all of the parks.
That's my ringtone. That's how much I love it.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I love that, and the best part of the parade is, of course, the Gravediggers.
Yeah.
So that's fun that they come into the shot, and you also get the regular magic shot with them standing there. And then they also have further down on Main Street, and like I was saying, sometimes around the hub, and sometimes they'll do it during the day. It's another one of those iffy things. But they have the waltz dancers from the Haunted Mansion, and they dance into your picture. So that's another fun one.
That's fun.
Is that it?
That's really fun. And Disney World, at least anyway, usually has, if it's an animated magic shot, it also comes with a JPEG, a non-animated version of it. And if it doesn't show up, I've had it added before.
Yeah. So they usually do that. And they also have during the day, because I think we're done with the Halloween party, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have also from the parade, so from the Festival of Fantasy, they also have the Lost Boys dancers. And so they have that same type of thing where they're dancing into your picture. And then it's on Main Street. And then they have the still picture with them in it.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So what other magic shot updates do we have? I know you sent me a few to update, and then you updated some as well.
Yeah. And I still think I had some that were on the site that were the ones that the site had posted, the Disney site, but I was able to get them, so I have to send that to you. But yeah, I know they're not really new, but in the Norway area now that they have frozen stuff, so they have the Sven magic shot, and they have the Snowflake magic shot, which had been retired before when it was at the Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing that, and I've actually seen pictures on Main Street too. Maybe that's just like a random thing of the Snowflake.
Okay.
But that's kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
And then they have a bunch of new animated magic shots. So there's the same one that they have at Disneyland, which is the Mickey and Minnie one, where Minnie's taking the picture and then Mickey's kind of scooting his way into the picture with you.
The partner statue?
That's at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, sorry.
And it's sometimes on Main Street. Yes. I think one time I got it on Main Street, but I don't know if that's officially there or not. But that's, I think, the main thing is Hollywood Studios. But it could be at Main Street too. And then at the Magic Kingdom entrance also, and apparently at Hollywood Studios, because I couldn't find this one, but they have a Zootopia one. So they have Nick, and he has it on his phone, a picture of you that you just took. It's a little weird because it's like you're small and they're like the main thing. But I tried to I wasn't able to catch that one this trip. So hopefully next trip I'll be able to find that one. And then they had one at Epcot at the Seas with Nemo area, you know, the statues. They have a really cute one with Finding Nemo, an animated magic shot. And that's when I went over there just for that. And I was talking with the photographer for a while all about it. And then, of course, I never had it added.
Oh, no.
So that was one of the ones I had to contact them about. And thankfully they added it. So that one is really cute. And then they have, this is, of course, my kind of thing. They have a new magic shot when you meet Cinderella.
Yes, it's adorable.
It's really cute. So they have, it's either at Cinderella's royal table when you meet her at the beginning, or in her meet and greet area in the Princess Fairy Tale Hall. And they added to the last picture, like of your set of pictures. So unfortunately with mine, my last picture wasn't a pose shot. It was, I think, we were hugging or talking, or
oh no,
you know the way my meet and greets go. I don't just you don't get a picture. Yeah. No, we're still chatting. So it's like there where the mice come in, and it's really cute. But I'm gonna have to.
I haven't seen that one. The mice come in.
Yes.
Aww.
Yeah, it's really cute.
And present her. It's cute.
I'll have to get that one again. I'll have to go meet the princesses again.
Yep.
Oh no.
And then I think the last new one is the Buzz ride has a new magic shot. It's the animated magic shot, and that one's really cool. And I rode the ride just for the magic shot, and then of course I didn't have it, so I had to contact them. So I don't know what the deal is with these animated magic shots. You have to ask them, but they did end up all getting added. So
that's good.
Ride animated, that's brilliant.
Yeah. It's really fun too.
That should really be on like every ride.
Well, they have it on the Mine Train too. They do the video,
Well, no,
and then
it's
don't they
not.
have an animated magic shot too, or is that just the video? Am I making that
No,
up?
it's just the
Okay.
video, and just like they made a whole like a compilation, and like you're in slow motion,
Yes, you're right.
but it's not an animated thing. But and the other, speaking of animated magic shots, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Lumiere one isn't animated anymore. Only because when I went in both April and July, and I got that shot, and neither time the animated was added. So I don't know if it's just my kind of luck, which is possible, or if they're just,
Yeah.
you know me, or if it's just they're not doing the animated part of it anymore.
Right.
'Cause that was always a fun one. That was actually the first one, I think, right? That was animated magic shot they added.
I think so. Yes, it was actually. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so
That was the
Don't
very
know.
first one. So
yeah,
fun.
I've grown to liking the. At first, I wasn't sure with those animated ones because, like, you don't move, but they move. So sometimes it has to be, kind of the perfect balance of the two.
Yeah.
But I think I like them now. They're
I
cute.
love them. And I definitely love them for sure. I do want to mention though that in order for the animated magic shots to be added, you do have to have Memory Maker.
Or PhotoPass. Oh, for PhotoPass, the annual pass.
Yes. Or I'm like, they don't have PhotoPass anymore at Disney World. Yes. An annual pass.
Get with the times, Heather.
I mean, I know you don't like change, but yeah. So you need to have either Memory Maker or an annual pass that includes PhotoPass.
Yes.
And your annual pass card will say right on it. If it includes PhotoPass, it says it right on there. Yes. Okay. And then there's also an animated Zootopia magic shot.
Yeah, we talked about that,
Did
right?
we?
The animated one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She did. She
Yes,
glanced
you
over
did.
it.
You did. I remember now. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's all of them. What about
There's a lot of info.
What about anger?
Oh, there's.
Do they still
Yeah, I
have
was
the
just gonna
anger? Which is the
Well,
funniest thing to me.
Yeah, because I'm not sure, but that was in April that I got that one.
Mhm.
So now, I mean, it's possible. I'll have to see, but because now they have the food and wine, so they could always change it up. But yeah, it was really weird because when you're going to Disney, you should be, I would think, Joy,
Yes.
or and instead you're taking a picture in front of Spaceship Earth, and then
And
like
you're
anger pops
smiling.
up. Yeah, you're smiling, and then it's like ooh.
Anger comes
You
in
should
and
get your
throws
choice
a fit.
because I would totally want sadness. Like because she is so cute. And I would totally
She's
make a
so
sad face.
cute. Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, that would be fun too. And maybe they need to tell everybody to act angry. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, it would just
Yeah,
would make more sense that way.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things where they didn't even tell you, and it wasn't until I was looking through my pictures and I was like, oh, there's no.
They probably don't tell you because they're not positive it's going to show up.
Yes,
And then you just
For
have an
sure.
angry photo if it doesn't.
for sure. For sure. New ride photos. The Frozen ride has a ride photo.
Yes, the Frozen ride has a ride photo.
And
Sorry,
we have the
we're
best
laughing because
example.
I had a really
Yes.
picture. I had a really bad experience with the ride. Like, long story short, it took me 3 tries to actually get through the ride without it not being broken down and running through the pouring rain to get to it, or it having to be evacuated after being on the ride for 30 minutes and then having to jump out with an injured knee. So by the 3rd time I tried it and I got through the thing and I was like, that's it. So, like, the picture. And then there's like other people in the picture that are really hilarious to see. There's like great reactions. So
It's always fun with new rides like that because people don't know where the photo is yet.
Yes.
And
Like,
you really catch them off guard. It's hilarious.
yeah, because like I knew I had seen, and then I completely forgot with everything else that was going on about the ride photo until I was like, oh, there's a flash. I forgot there's a ride photo. But it's not really, like, the picture itself is not that, like,
It's not that
decorative
great.
for
It's not that
the ride.
themed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, there's, the boat. Because it's the same boats that were in Maelstrom.
Again, could be made into a totally cute animated magic shot.
Yeah.
Or at least add a border.
Right? It's give me something.
Because I mean, honestly, it's just like a log. Unless you know, you might mistake it for splash. I mean, because sometimes the front of the boat doesn't even show up, which is that's the front of the boat is the distinguishing feature.
Like if you're in the front, then because I know with Mine Train, your picture is dependent of where you're sitting. So if you're like farther back, it's like focused on you. So if you're in the front, maybe you have more of that, because with the Disney World ride photos, it's based off your Magic Band. So I think they kind of crop it to your picture.
Yep.
So, the time that I got evacuated, I was in the front row, so that would have been great. Not.
Yeah.
You were angry in the back row.
Yeah, I was angry. Like that was the angry magic shot. But
no, if you're telling people, why did I have to Photoshop you out in order to post it on the site?
Yeah. It was just bad.
I say we sneak the original into the site when she's not looking, because it's worth showing.
Send it on over, Tanya.
You know that one that went viral on the Splash Mountain where she looked so angry? Like
that was you.
You were totally making like a Michael Phelps anger face. Like
this was it. Like I don't really want to get into that. Like, because I thought there was so much more after the ride when I was evacuated, and it wasn't. There was like 2 seconds afterwards. But yeah, so if you want to know where the ride photo is, so you don't have the same look I did, it's after they have like the marshmallow and you're going down on the fall, yeah. So because it's like I said, it's the exact same ride system and track and everything.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why I kept having so many problems if it's the same one, but that's one of those things that hopefully gets fixed over time, because it breaks down a lot.
Yeah, Radiator Racers did that too when it was brand new, and it seems to be working well now.
Yeah, doesn't break down as often anymore, I guess, huh?
Yeah. We have a post on Capturing Magic that shows examples of all of the ride photos in the parks, Disneyland and Disney World, and also tells you where you want to sit, which is super helpful if you've got a big group or kids or things like that, because it's not always intuitive. Where you think maybe that your kids should sit isn't always where they should sit to be able to be viewed in the photo. So,
but the Frozen one, I would definitely say if you're wanting that for the picture, you want to be in the front.
Yeah,
because it's not really staggered that well. Because like the Splash Mountain one, since it's going like really
down
far down, like the angle, you see everybody, but this one you don't really, which is why I was kind of too.
Yeah, you were hidden a little bit.
Not enough.
Yeah. No. Because on the example that's on the site right now, I photoshopped you out, so you're not even in there at all. But.
Oh, God.
Okay. Is that all of it? Like, do we have any other new PhotoPass, Magic Shot, anything else that we need to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
I can't either. Or how are things working with you getting your PhotoPass photos in the app and all of that kind of stuff down there, Heather?
Yeah, I love it. It's working great. If the picture doesn't show up, that's one thing, but I haven't had as much problems with that as what I had my last Disneyland trip. But I've had a couple pictures not showing up, but not too many. And like I said, I had a lot of these magic shots not showing up, but that was a separate issue, I think, because maybe it's not going through as a magic shot. But it's great to just be in the park, and like it's almost instantaneous sometimes. And you take the picture and you look in the app and say, "Oh, there's my picture," and you just download it and post it, or it's great.
Yeah, good. There's kind of how it works. Maybe we should just go through this a little bit. For the PhotoPass Magic Shots, there is a setting that the photographer is supposed to change in their camera so that the people behind the scenes know to add the magic. It kind of gets flagged and they know they can see it more easily. But sometimes the photographers don't do that, or something happens to it, or...
Yeah, even when I see them change it, sometimes it just
doesn't get added. It gets missed in the magic department. In the magic adding department.
Yeah, when you contact them, they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, you've been at it, so it's not really a huge deal unless you need it immediately.
Yes.
Which we do.
Yes.
We need it right now.
We do. Be able to
And the
share
good
it.
thing too is you can download the animated Magic Shot too. I think when it first started through the app, you couldn't download it
Right.
unless you downloaded everything. But now you can, if you have Memory Maker or the annual pass with pictures.
PhotoPass.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I was just going to say. PhotoPass, and they don't have PhotoPass anymore. It's just, I don't know what to call. Like they call
I
themselves
know.
PhotoPass photographers.
I know.
But they're maker. And the other good thing I'll mention is if you remember when this whole thing first started with the Magic Bands, and there was always the problem with the Magic Bands not working with the scanning, but now it seems to work great. And it's to the point when I go to Disneyland, like for the first day, I'm sticking my arm out
Yeah.
for them to start scanning. I'm like, oh wait, I'm not at Disney World.
Yeah.
So, but that's definitely worked a lot better. It's nice not to have to pull out a card.
I agree, and especially for the ride photos, those automatically show up. You don't have to do anything at all if
Yep.
you have a Magic Band. But they still have places to scan your card, right? If you just have a card.
Yeah, they have that. I know they do on Test Track, and probably some of the others where you just scan it. It's Space Mountain,
Real quick.
so you can scan those things and it gets added. But if you have your Magic Band, it goes right onto it.
Yeah, but the ride videos don't get added at all unless you have Memory Maker. Even if you scan a card, it's just, Memory Maker and a Magic Band combination, is my understanding. Is that yours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Because I've only had, with
Yeah. Me too.
I've never not had it. I mean, having it on the annual pass is the greatest thing because me, just like you, would always buy it.
Yeah.
And that adds up, especially the amount of times we go. So
It does add up. And in fact, I did a little price analysis, and I'm glad you brought that up because it's a great segue into this. If you're going to buy a 7-day park hopper pass and you have, or by chance, are driving a car and have 7 days of parking and a Memory Maker, it's only $40 more to upgrade to an annual pass. From a 7-day park hopper pass to an annual pass, and then you get those 7 days worth of parking included, and Memory Maker, and all of your photos are included. So,
and you get discounts.
and
now.
you get the discounts. Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer
Yeah,
if you're going to
so
be
go
there
get
for
your
that
annual
many
pass.
days or longer. It totally makes it worth it.
The only problem with having all the pictures, because when you get your annual pass, they give you your pictures from a year before, which is great. But then if you're like me and at the end of a trip you go and you say download all and you're having thousands of pictures that show up in like 25
It's a pain.
zip files and have to try to figure out, okay, I have to go from the bottom up and when do I stop, and
Yeah.
takes forever. So that's the only issue. But I mean, you can't complain about having too many pictures.
I totally agree. You can't, but it is a pain because you either have to select them one by one or download them all and then go through them. Those are your options on the website, which I mentioned this on our Disneyland podcast. I think they need to add a date feature where you can select everything between this date and that date and just download all of that.
And the other thing with the Disney World version is that if you have friends hooked up with your account, because you can have different friends, and they have it that you can see their pictures, because most people don't change the privacy settings, so the automatic thing is that other people can see your pictures. So you have people that are your friends, but you're getting all their pictures too when you go to download them all. And I mean, I like my friends, but if
you don't want their photos. So you can't go in and change the setting. It's something they have to do on their end.
They have to do it so that you can't see their pictures and you can set it up to have different people. Like you have it that you have friends and then you have family. So your family, I think it's set up to see it, or you can still change it. Whatever it is that I could see my mom's, she could see mine. But for anyone else, I always go in and I say they can't see it. And then, but if the other people do it, there's a button on top to say show friends and family, and it's automatically checked on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want to see your own, you have to check that off. But when you go to download it, it still downloads everybody's pictures.
Really? If you select download them all instead of doing it one by one. See, I always go through and go one by one because I'd rather do it there than on my computer.
I'm not going to download like hundreds of pictures because, again, I take hundreds of pictures like each time, and I don't want to make sure I miss one. And so I just say download all, and sometimes it takes forever for it to show up that you can download it. But then, like I said, I just start from the highest number and go backwards, and I keep unzipping it until I see pictures from another trip, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
And then you just delete everything else.
Yeah.
That's smart.
The site, I think the site for the Disney World is much better than the Disneyland one.
Yes.
PhotoPass. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have the Disneyland PhotoPass, but I have looked at it to see the pictures, and I could even see that there's Disney World one it's much better, which is really strange to say because most Disneyland things are better than the Disney World versions, But and it's weird that it's not the same.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that in the Disneyland podcast. The way you download is different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to download all the photos 3 different times, and all 3 times I got a different number of downloads.
You know what? We're all going to have to add notes to the Disneyland podcast because I forgot to mention too, I had problems with downloading too. And there were about 100 photos that I could not get to download no matter what I did. And so I actually had to call them, and they had to do something special on the back end and send me a totally different link via email.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Disney World one, you just say download all, and then you go to my downloads, and then they're all listed. Or if you're downloading a separate picture, then you can go in the same thing. But I noticed it wasn't there at all. That's when Tanya was saying she was having problems downloading. I'm like, well, look in the my downloads section.
I'm like, there is no one. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and I worry if you selected to download them all with thousands of photos in there, it would freak the Disneyland right out. I really worry about that.
You would literally get one photo, like you're done, get out.
I think it'd break it. Yeah. So, but it's been working for you.
Yeah, I mean, that app, it's been great, which is, again, strange to say, because there's certain things that don't work with the app, but the PhotoPass generally has worked really well. I did a post a while back about how to download from the app, and it's changed a little bit, but it's the same basic concept, but it's pretty easy to, just download it. And, sometimes you're talking about that on the Disneyland one, that sometimes it just doesn't reload, and even though you, pull it down
to refresh.
It's not doing it. So, I'm standing there and I'm pulling it down with both fingers, trying to do it to try to get it to
angry finally.
Yes. So, eventually it works. But you said to, log out
and log back in. I would try that.
I'll try that next trip. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was at Disney World and using the PhotoPass app, it worked really well. And they've been doing it longer at Disney World too than Disneyland has. And even though you would think that it would all be the same system and all the same everything, it's not. They totally are doing their own thing. But, so, Disney World's been doing it for a little bit longer and had more time to work the bugs out than Disneyland, I guess. We'll give them that. That's what we'll say. Yeah, try logging out and logging back in. Let me know how it goes, Heather.
Okay. Because so many other things sometimes do not work in that app. But that seemed to work well. And so I really like that. Like I said on the Disneyland one, it's great too, because there's so many more inside meet and greet areas.
Yeah.
And this lighting is just horrendous. So it's nice to just be able to download. I mean, sometimes theirs don't come out either, but if they do, just to be able to go and download it and post it right away.
Yeah, I have to give kind of a little shout out to Disney on the PhotoPass and Memory Maker stuff, because I've been to a lot of other parks and places, attractions, different places where they offer a PhotoPass kind of a thing, and I never get as many photos for the same price as what I do at Disney. Walking away with 400 or 500 photos, and if you're buying Memory Maker, you're $150. You aren't going to get that anywhere else. Nowhere. So I think it's totally worth the money, even if you're paying for it every time and you don't have an annual pass. But that I've always felt that way, so I guess that's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's just now I have comparisons. I have things to
Yeah.
compare it to, and you're getting the biggest bang for your buck, definitely at Disney. If you're willing to stop and get the photos. If you're not going to stop and get the photos, then it's not going to be worth it to you. But if photos are important to you and documenting that vacation is important to you, you need to get it and you need to stop every time you see a photographer.
And I've seen a lot of people who say that they hadn't really stopped for photos, but now their annual pass, and now that it's included, they stop for a lot more pictures just because now they can get it and they don't have to pay. So
yeah, I've wondered
bonus.
how that's going to affect lines.
Yeah.
With more people having it. But I think it's great because it does allow them to be able to do a better job with. Now, what about photographers? Have you noticed a difference with the photographers at Disney World like we have Disneyland?
not really.
No?
I mean,
Same?
I like I was saying, I was talking to this one at the Nemo photo spot,
Yeah.
and she was saying how since they had added the Norway photos, that they didn't add any more photographers, so they were stretching them thinner.
Mhm.
So I think that was kind of obvious, but I was seeing a lot of photographers in different places. I had a really great one at closing or after closing. It was the park had closed at midnight, and it was way past midnight, and on Main Street, and she was taking pictures, all these pictures of people in front of me, and they were like laying on the ground. And so I asked if she could do that for me, and and so I have nobody around
I saw
me.
those. They're amazing.
And of course, those were pictures that originally didn't show up on my photo pass.
Oh.
And it was one of those few times I didn't have it on my camera, and I was like, please find it. But they did. So that's a success story.
That's great.
But so there's been some really good photographers like that. And I think it's like anything, sometimes if ones to go over the top, and then other ones who are just like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll take your picture and that's it.
I'll give you your castle shot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think we're good on the Disney World front then, right? Was there anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that seems about right.
Okay. Perfect. I want to ask our listeners, actually, thank you for being here, and then also ask you if you enjoy the show, please be sure to give us a review in iTunes. That helps us out and makes us more visible so other people can find us, and so we can keep going and doing this. It's nice to know that people are listening. Yes. Yes.
Leave lots of comments so Steph knows we need to keep doing it.
So Heather and Tanya don't go through withdrawals.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's boring when I have to talk to just Heather.
I'm glad to know that I'm that special in your life. All right, Heather, remind our listeners where to find you, please.
On all the social media, I'm HeatherW25, and my character site is I Love Characters, and it's heatherw.com/character.
Okay, and Tanya?
Also, social media, Tanya H666 and everymagicmoment.com.
Thank you, and we will see you next time on Capturing Magic.